the other side too, whenever they can make it out here. But let's get to it. Today we have our guest, Cindy. Sorry. Um,
Hello.
how are you today?
I'm good.
Thank you for making it out
Thank
over
you for
here.
having me here.
You said you stay in Bowen Park.
Yes, Baldwin Park.
I was gonna say Bowen Hills. You
Oh,
know where
no.
that's at?
No.
That's in Mid City.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Oh,
in Mid
no.
City. That's why it kind of like it sounded familiar. But that one's more like towards the airport.
Oh, okay. No, I don't.
How's
Familiar.
life in Bowen Park?
It's
Is
good.
that where you grew up or?
No. I grew up. Well, yeah, I guess Baldwin Park, La Puente, a little bit of Almani, I want to say, but yeah.
How was that? How's the art over there? How's the scene?
Not 100% sure because I never really checked it out there until now that I recently started vending. So I'm kind of more like out here, like Montebello, LA, Pasadena, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. What about did you go to school out there, out in Bowen Park?
Yeah, Baldwin Park and I want to say La Puente.
What high school did you go to?
Oh, Maniview High School in El Monte.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know. I'm not familiar with that
Oh,
side
yeah,
of
it was in
town.
I went to high school in El Monte.
Because I mean, on the show we do have a lot of local artists, and
Uh-huh.
like when you mention a high school,
Oh.
and then like 10 days later, somebody will hit up somebody and be like, "Hey, I went to school with you." Like it just happens, like all that, or like they went to college or high school or elementary. It's weird because you were mentioning another painter earlier that the name just like snapped because we know her. So
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're like the 100th person because like
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
everybody like knows each other. Everybody's
Yeah.
like I said, like oh that one high school or that one college. Or
Yeah.
what about so you went to high school out there? Did you make art in high school? Was it something you did back then?
Nah, nothing fancy. Just took like an art class, but it wasn't anything like for like the city or anything like that. So not really, not so much.
So you took like basic like art, like
Yeah,
where
like
they
the
teach you
basic
like
one.
the shadows and all
Yeah,
like
the basic
quick
class.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the teacher? How was that teacher? Was he like very?
He was actually he was really fun.
Yeah?
He had like an obsession with the Beatles.
Did he
his
make
name-
you like paint a bunch of Beatles stuff? Or
No, no,
draw
no,
Beatles
no.
stuff?
He would just always play the Beatles music throughout our class.
Yeah.
But he was really cool.
And then because of that, are you more familiar with the Beatles? Like if you
No.
were to go to like a bar trivia and they're like,
Oh,
yo,
no.
I know all those songs because.
Well, actually, now that I think of it, maybe I might recognize one or two.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember my high school class. Yeah, the teacher was kind of more like serious.
Oh, okay.
So like everybody like they didn't play around. So
Yeah.
it was like a quiet room, but we
Oh,
were all
nice.
like learning about art.
Mhm.
And it worked. I learned a little bit, but yeah. What about like after high school? Did you pursue art or
Um,
Like-
after high school,
like art
Not f-
education or like
no, nothing with like art education. I wanted to,
yeah.
but it just wasn't the time, or I just couldn't afford it. So I just ended up just working full time. It wasn't until recently that I got into like vending, and last year actually, 2017. That's when everything like flipped on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like your parents originally from? Like from LA or
No, Guadalajara.
Guadalajara?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they artists themselves or
Oh no, no.
do they have like any creative like
No, I think
talents?
the art that runs in my family is probably like my brother. He's the one who pursued art, and he's always showed art to me. So that kind of inspired me to get into art because I've been drawing since the 5th grade because of
Yeah.
him.
Is he also like illustrator or like
He's actually a tattoo artist right now,
oh that's dope.
but
Yeah,
he draws
I
very
mean,
good.
Did he do any of your tattoos?
A couple, yeah. He actually
That's-
did one yesterday on my chest.
Oh, that
Yeah.
I've had like I have some letters here and like yeah, I was like this
It
is
hurts, yeah.
this is the last thing I'm doing.
It hurts.
But I'm pretty sure I'll be back because it's like an addiction.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't mind. You
Mhm.
can't see mines, but they're on there. Yeah, I mean that's good. Yeah, like, cause I actually I paint, and then my sister saw me paint, but she didn't do acrylic. She did a watercolor.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
watercolors.
yeah, like she hopped on that. So
Mhm.
we have like talents. So like your brother, he's doing tattoos. Maybe
Yeah.
later on, I don't know what kind of art your art is like gonna evolve into. How long have you been
We'll
doing
see.
it now? Like
Drawing?
Yeah, just like your art that you've been like actively putting out there when you're
Oh,
bending.
actively putting out there.
Yeah, when you're bending and stuff.
2017.
Okay, so it's pretty
so
recent.
A year and
yeah.
a half, or no, about a year and a half, I guess.
And like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about it? How do you? Is it something that's like helps you like just cope with like because when some people paint, they get like extra like all energetic, real happy with their having like Marco was saying it's just like a bad day, and then you just hop on your art and
I can relate. Yeah, I can relate a lot.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mainly draw or sketch?
Sad girls.
Sad girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you get that idea from, or how was like how what was the first time you like?
I've done so much, I don't even remember when I did the first, but it just kind of came to me. And then, like back in high school, I would paint and listen to a lot of like 80s music, like The Cure and, a bunch of like 80s music.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like still changed like my music genres a little, and I still, the same thing still comes out, the crying girls, the sad girls, yeah.
The sad girls?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like a series you were working on, right? Is that what, like, when you bend, is that like the one that people purchase the most, or is that more private, like a more private series?
I do just a bunch of. There's not like a specific series to it. I draw one, I like it. Okay, if it sells, cool. I draw another, like I sell it. It's no like, there's nothing like official to it. I just like to draw it. I don't know why.
So like you don't do you use like people that you know as models?
Sometimes, actually, recently I did like a little. I'm trying to teach myself how to draw portraits. So I did a little thing on my Instagram to see whoever wanted to be like my model. So I got like I think I got like about 30 responses that I have to 30 portraits to do. Yeah.
That's a good practice though, because then like, you put it out there, and then people gonna be like, hey, when's my portrait ready?
Yeah, like I'm working on it. Yes. Almost.
And what do you use? Like charcoal or colored pencil?
No, just regular pencil. Nothing fancy, yeah. Just regular pencil eraser.
Yeah, so like these 30 portraits, they're all going to be just like pencil and...
Yeah.
Are you going to frame them or...
I mean, if they want to keep it, I'll give it to them. It's not... I mean, it's more practice for me, if anything. I'm not trying to like
So more like digital, because, you're going to do it, but then you're going to post it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It would be different if they wanted it mailed to them.
Well, I could do that too. I'm very flexible. Yeah.
Where do you usually bend? Where do you like take your art usually?
Mainly one that I've been doing a lot is the Montebello Art Walk. I think that one's featured by Keeping the Culture Alive.
Yeah, KTCA.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, and we know those guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were on the show like 2 years ago or a year ago.
Yeah. I like how their event runs, and it's always a good art walk when I do it. So I think I'm gonna stick to that one mainly. But I've tried different ones here and there. Like I've done one in like Pasadena. That one I just know the promoter. His name's Fabian, but I'm not sure if he has like an actual like. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's a bunch of random ones really.
Yeah. I mean, what about the downtown art walk? Because that's like pretty big.
I actually haven't tried that one because I'm a little shy. I'm very shy.
I mean, there's just like tons of different types of art out there. It doesn't necessarily. Some people like they even do just like collages. So it's like they're not putting the actual like art.
Right.
They're more just like creating something that's already created and they put it out there. So pretty sure there's room for everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I encourage it. I'd be like, I'll say hi. Usually I'll go out there and like, try to say hi to everybody because, people do take the time to come over here and come sit with us for like 30 minutes. It just depends on the interview that we have that day.
Yeah.
Do you ever do like live art or like live sketching, drawing? When you're bending, or you're more just like...
I think I've tried it, but again, it's not like an official thing that I like doing. It was just, I mean, I usually sometimes in the beginning when I started vending, I'll take my sketchbook and I'll just draw at my table, but it's not like a big thing or anything like that.
And besides like your bending like out like in the art walks, do you have like online stores or like where people can find you online?
No, it's just Instagram.
Okay, so they can just message you and like they want that piece and like you can.
Yeah.
Well, it works. I mean, we just like to ask just in case like people go to your page.
Oh, okay.
And they want to buy a piece and or like so they can know where to find you kind of.
Oh, okay. No, it's just my Instagram that I use for my art. And that's pretty much it. I don't have a website. I don't even use like other social medias that much anymore.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much just like right now it's just kind of dead.
Yeah, everything's dead.
Yeah, Instagram is like, where's it at?
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, they have a good platform where you can plug in like PayPal and like all this other stuff. So
yeah.
it's great. What do you plan to do with your art from like here on, like 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Well, I do hope to like probably open up galleries in the future. But I have like little side things that I'm working on. Like I actually host like a sketch meetup every second Friday of the month for artists.
Where's that at?
I've been doing it in Montebello only because I want to meet people halfway. Because some people come from LA sometimes, and then I'm all over here from like Baldwin Park or West Covina. So I kind of try to accommodate people if they're coming out of their way. I would like to accommodate when I can.
Where, but like, is there a location? Like, is there that you could share with the audience? Or that you don't want people going?
No, of course I encourage everyone to go.
Don't go.
Well, I actually at first I would do it at BJ's in Montebello, but this last one that I had in what month are we on? July. The one we had in this month, I guess. I did it at Angry Horse Brewing, and it was like 2 blocks from the original spot that I do at the BJ's. It's just like a brewery.
Is that like West Covina kind of?
No, that's by that's in Montebello. It's on Whittier, corner of Whittier, and I'm not sure whichever one the other street is, but it's literally like I think like a block away from where the Montebello Art Walk is is normally.
So yeah, pretty sure. And then in the sketch like meetups, right? Is everybody welcome or only like people that sketch?
No, I encourage everyone to go. I mean, I met people that they've told me like they don't draw, but they would like to be a part of it or just come and have a good time. So I tell them, yeah, of course, you guys are more than welcome. But I mainly started it because I think we should have like more artists like be out there and just reveal themselves to the world. I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't know. But yeah, it's open for everyone, really.
I mean, I've heard a couple of those like happening all over the city, and I find it, it's great to like have people like specifically because some people are shy about that kind of stuff. I'm
actually very shy about it.
Exactly. So like it's like when you have people that are on the same page, that they're just there to sketch, nothing else, then everybody, it makes like a comfortable environment, a comfortable experience.
It does. Yeah, it really does.
And that's why I was asking him, like, can people bring markers or only pencils or only?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people like I just bring like a pen and pencil, but I've had people bring like their whole backpack with like a box of like crayons, color pencils, a bunch of stuff, whatever they use, really.
Yeah, I mean, we were already thinking about having that out here, but we just didn't know how to go about it because, again, we're pretty, like, I mean, I'm pretty open with my art, but, like, having other people come in and, like, I don't know if I feel intimidated. Like, oh, man, that person is, like, 10 times, draws even, like, crazy things. But, I guess it's just part of it, right? Just
I mean, and that's something that I try to let everyone know when they're asking questions about the sketch meetup. I don't look for people who are like top notch, like painters that know 100% what they're doing. Like, no, I just try to gather people who love art, who like to draw or paint, whatever. Like, it's like a family and a culture, I think.
Yeah, and they even have the chance to like meet and learn more skills from the other.
Yeah, like I would like for them to like network with other artists.
There you go.
Try what they're trying or anything. It's something might click with them that will help them be more out there and more open about their art.
All right. So you have the bending and then the sketch meetups. What other art activities like do you like put yourself out there with?
Other art activities. Well, I'm part of a group called Art and Flux, but it's with 2 other people, so I don't want to say much about it. But we're a team. We do have other people in it.
It's also like just promoting the arts. Similar.
Yeah, another little art walk in the works. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, let's say like. Because for a while we had our little art walks, like.
Oh yeah, Marco was telling me that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then we got shut down because you need
Yeah.
permits and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, how do people reach you? Like, how would they be like, hey, you want to come to Morales? Because there are a few of them. There's like
Yeah.
Northeast LA, like
Y-
Southeast LA.
Yeah, I
now.
think there's what you mean, like sketch meetups, or what do you mean?
No, art walks. So
Oh,
what
art
if they want to
walks.
reach you? Just straight to Instagram?
Yeah, it's just Instagram mainly. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And do you have any shout outs you want to put out there while we're like live? Later on, they'll be on like YouTube and stuff. So you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Mom. I'm just kidding. No, everyone, friends and family who've supported me with my art. Everyone's always told me growing up, like, oh, you should sell your art, you should do this. But I'm just really shy about it. So, I just really came out to do that. So thank you for pushing me. And just all the other artists really who draw, who vend. You guys are like motivation, I guess. And yeah.
Cool. There you go, everybody. You all got shouted out. I think one thing I didn't ask yet was who's your favorite painter or like sketch artist at the moment? You can have more than one. It doesn't, you don't have to limit it. The answer to.
I mean, there's too many really. I don't want to put one above another. But I actually look up at a lot of like art vendors that are local that I've been with. I know you guys know Emilia Cruz. She's awesome. She is goals, guys. But there's her. There's my friend Albie. I think she's pretty cool. She likes like drawing horror stuff. She's under Bappy's Creations. There is a lot of people that I look up to. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean it's good to see like other people and just like especially I've seen right now that there's a lot of women empowerment, just, people of color empowerment. So like everybody getting together and hey, this person is doing this and that's great. That's encouraging. That's I'm pretty sure people see your stuff too and they're like, yo, I want to. I
hope.
I want to draw like her and like
my stick figures.
put my stuff out. I saw some of your work. I mean, there was people like they were purchasing it, right?
Yeah.
So that means it's it's something that people want to have in their homes, in their offices.
Hopefully, yeah.
And then it's like something you can, I'm pretty sure like if somebody's having a bad day, they look at your art. It's not all that crazy.
That'd be
it's
awesome.
Not all. I mean, because that's how art works.
Yeah.
Like you never know who you're gonna impact.
Right.
When it comes to las sad girls, you say sad.
Yeah, just sad
girls. Dolls.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Like what's the biggest one you done, or is it like you always do one standard size?
No, I do different. I don't think I know the biggest one. I'm not sure. To be honest.
What about mural? Like a mural of them? Have you done that before? Like a mural
No,
work?
I haven't. Not yet. I haven't.
So you plan on doing it? Yeah, like is that
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, guys.
I don't know where I'd go.
You guys have a wall, and you want to
available.
let her experiment on the wall. That's how things start. You just trial and error.
Yeah.
There you go. You see, somebody might see this and then be like, "Hey."
Cool.
I mean, that's how I used to get walls. Like,
okay.
I'll just like ask people. Oh yeah, paint my wall.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That easy.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, the part that is the hard is the paint.
Yeah.
Because you have to like coat stuff.
Oh okay.
What else? Like especially right now, like your art. Do you like put messages in your art, or is it just more like art because it's something that you take more personally?
No, nothing personal. Messages, I don't really think so. I just go off with either usually when I draw, I go off based on emotion. Like if I'm having like a super happy day, I'm always like eager to come home and draw and see what comes on the canvas. Or if I'm sad, I'll come home and like draw something. There's something specific really. It's just I go based off a lot of emotion. Or sometimes when I feel like drawing, I just put on some different music and whatever comes out comes out.
And then when you draw, do you have like a color palette that you like to use, or just like black and white? Or
no, I like using watercolors a lot. That's kind of like my thing. I like how they blend. A lot of people tell me that's hard, but I tell them no, what you use is hard for me. But
Usually that's how it is.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot lately.
No, but what I was saying was because your hair, it has like the lime green. So I'm like, is that one of the colors that you use?
Oh
or?
no, I just mix colors and whatever I get, I get. I like to experiment a lot with art.
Yeah, because usually, like there's some artists that like earth colors, or some that like,
Oh, okay.
like cold colors, warm colors.
Oh no, I don't have anything.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Like what would be your like, what do you call it, like the best, like when you want to do your art, like what's the best like scenario for you, like alone, like in your room, or
in my room on my drawing table with some wine or some beer.
Okay. And then like it just kind of flows after that.
Yeah.
I mean, cause like mine would be like, I don't know, a wall on the freeway while the cars are like zooming by. Yeah, I have a graffiti background. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
The noise and then the quietness of like the 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning. It's like
2:00 in the morning. Yeah.
That's what.
That's like the hour of the artist.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
that's cool.
But you're like, you were saying more indoors. I'm more outdoors.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I'm an introvert, so I don't really like to like be out there that much. As it wasn't hard, for me to come out with my art. But it's just in my room by myself, just playing my music or whatever.
Do you have any like friends that also like are artists? Like, that you guys go like as a team and always bend, or you just like kind of just yourself?
No, it's just me on my own like spot. I see a lot of familiar faces a lot, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the best scenario is in the room.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Just by myself, me, myself, and I.
And would you are you able to sit down and do like one full drawing, or like just couple as you go?
That's the thing. It's always easy for me to start a bunch of drawings, but it's hard for me to finish them. It really depends how I feel, or if I'm feeling the drawing. If not, I either put it aside and finish it like a month or so later, or I just...
A month? Wow.
That's a cool process. I'm a procrastinator a lot.
I mean, it's part of the process.
Yeah,
like, even if you don't think about it, it's part of the process. Like, having one thing, you're like, oh, I'm going to start on this because I'm inspired by this. And then, I'm inspired by this today. And then you have a bunch of them to work on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so. And it's easy for me to go back to something like, oh, I think I'll work on this one or this one or this one. But it just depends what I feel, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you listen to music while you're like sketching and drawing?
Yeah.
What kind of music do you listen to? If it's not too personal.
No, it's not personal. It's just I'm shy.
It's okay.
I listen to a lot of The Cure, The Smiths, and then I change it up to like some mellow music, like Gorillaz, like their different stuff. Really, there's nothing specific.
Does the music affect the way you're drawing or sketching?
Yeah,
like,
that's why.
That's why something like faster, and are you like more likely to finish quicker and like put color down quicker?
It just depends on what I'm listening to. That's why I try to be open with like music, or I should say maybe a lot of rock music, like different rock genres. But they're different.
What kind of art would you do if they would you put it on corrido?
Oh no, I'll turn that shit off. I don't think I'll. No.
Like, that's it. This is a blank page. I'm out of here.
Burn the canvas.
But I just like to joke around. If you listen to corridos, don't worry, we're just messing.
Nothing personal.
I listen to them. Don't worry, I listen to them. Follow me on Instagram and you can see all the crazy crap I put. But again, just want to thank you stopping by.
Thank you.
I think we only have like a few minutes left.
Okay.
Do you have any last words that you want to share? Anything that you wanted to say on? You were like, maybe if one day I was on YouTube or on a show, like this is the time.
Oh, I have no idea. No, I don't know.
What about like the people that are like want to bend or get into bending? Do you have any like info or
people
any advice?
Want to get into vending? Well, I mean, you can find me on my Instagram. I'm under Cindybilly, and I usually promote a lot of the art walks that I'm attending, or sometimes when I see that other shows are looking for vendors or artists, I'll post that too. You never know when somebody wants to be a part of it. Just on Instagram, really. That's where I get all the info.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Again, I want to thank you for being on episode 164. And hopefully we will run into you into like the
when I have my
the
art galleries,
walks.
yeah.
Yeah, art
5 years
walks,
from now.
galleries, and we'll
Yeah.
say hello.
Cool. Yeah, of
If you have some
course.
stickers, we kind of collect stickers
Oh,
ourselves.
okay.
Yeah. So we'll probably I don't know if that's something you ban or.
Yeah, I have stickers, pins,
Yeah,
a
we'll
little bit of
probably pick
everything.
up a little. Cause look, I picked this one up.
Oh,
You see it?
yeah.
It's by this one artist in Boyle Heights.
Okay.
It's like a heart and a coffee mug.
Yeah. That's
It
cool.
fit perfect. Yeah.
That's nice.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, Cindy, for coming
Thank
by.
you.
And thank you guys for staying tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes with our next guest. This has been the Eskwilax Hour 164, and I'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to our second half of the Eskwilax Hour. I'm Efrain. We have our second guest. As you guys know, we're the Eskwilax Hour. And we have two guests right now, Mike and Seol. You guys want to say hi to our audience? So yeah, thank you guys for being here. When you talk on the mic, you might want to hold it closer. So yeah, if you guys want to tell us a little bit something about yourself. First, if you want to go first, Seol.
Yeah, my name is Seol, and we're a husband and wife team, and we have these two comic books out right now. So I'm the writer, and he's the illustrator.
I don't know what. Yeah, so these are our comic books, and it's basically they're true stories, dealing with mental illness, which I have, and they're true. The stories are true, and uh, it's kind of like a dark romance. And we would really ask that you could check him out. We have a website. It's www.mikeandsoulcomics.bigcartel.com, and you can buy these there. And so yes, please do check them out.
Okay, so you guys have 2 issues now, or is two,
Yeah, there are
or
two
is the
issues.
same issue with 2 different covers?
Two
Two
different
issues?
yeah.
Oh, okay. How did you guys? What year did you guys start working on these?
We started working on these last year. So the first one came out in December 2017.
So it's pretty
Yeah.
recent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like
the
a few
second
months.
one just came out, and we haven't even done like a official release for that one yet. Yeah, so
this is like exclusive.
yeah. Yes.
Oh, you guys get the exclusive stuff right here on the Eskwilax Hour. Yeah, thank you guys. I think Marco said that he met you guys right on
Yeah,
at the
East LA.
Escape. I think it was
Yeah.
Cape,
Yeah,
right?
Cape.
Yeah.
Convention.
We had the 2 guys that run it, before, like a week or 2 weeks before they did it. They came by and they were telling us about how they got started with that. So that's great because that's how we met you guys now. Yeah, he said that these are not your typical like comic books, right? Or like
Right.
that they deal with a very like what do you call it? Very like a serious topic.
Right.
So these are like, it's good to have these out. You want to tell us about the first one? Which one's the first one?
This is the first one. Yeah, so these are not like your typical superhero comic books. They are very much based on like our lives and our relationship. So we've been married for 10 years now.
Oh, congratulations.
And yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Actually, today is our 10-year anniversary.
Oh,
Well,
dang.
We had 2 weddings.
Yeah, oh,
So
okay.
For the first one, we eloped to
Okay,
Vegas, and
yeah.
then the second one was we had like a proper wedding with all the family and friends.
All right.
So that was July 20th. So that was 10 years ago today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sharing that with us here today.
Yeah.
And then are you guys all have LA natives, or have you guys always lived in LA and like?
Yeah, he was born in Chicago and lived in
Mm.
Texas, and then came to California when he was when he was starting high school.
Yeah.
And then I was born in Korea, and I came to the United States, to LA when I was 9.
Okay.
And then lived here ever since.
How do you guys like LA? It's interesting, right?
Yeah, I
Very
love it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But we're more in like the suburban area.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean, like the Eskwilax are, we interview like artists from all over. We kind of more on the east, but it's more because of like the traffic. It's weird, but like we try interviewing people from like more like towards the beach, but they never seem to make it out here on time. So yeah, that's what it was like. For the most part, there's a lot of the artists that we get are from like northeast LA, southeast LA, as far as Riverside, Azusa, yeah.
Okay.
So, it's not like we keep it on one side. It's more like a traffic thing. Like that's like
Yeah.
only an LA thing. Like
Yeah,
where
yeah,
traffic
yeah, yeah.
affects your production.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I haven't known anything else, so yeah.
Yeah, right. Like is it whenever you step out of it and then you're like, wait, like there's like other things besides
Right.
traffic.
Right.
Sitting in traffic.
Right.
And then you said you illustrate these.
Yes, I drew them.
Okay,
Yeah.
and do you have a background like
Yeah.
illustrating different works or like just these specifically?
Well, I used to be a freelance artist. Art was my major in college, and I've been drawing my whole life. But yeah, these are the first 2 comics that I've seriously tried to produce.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you said that you used to do art like as like professionally,
Well, kind of like semi-professionally.
of course.
I've done storyboarding for a independent movie,
Oh, sweet.
and just things like that. Yeah, just
Sweet.
little jobs here and there. But this is the first time that we're trying to actually produce something.
And how many
Yeah.
like the first one? How many drawings is in that? Do you know? Like by like
Yeah, it's 24 pages.
So-
of work, It took each of these took well the first one took 7 months, and the second one took 6 months.
Okay, so
Yeah.
about similar in,
Yeah.
like timing, and then like each drawing was how long does that take? I'm asking these coming from like somebody that's never worked on like some kind of like a comic book or a graphic novel. So I like to ask like
Yeah, it's really time consuming, very slow going. And then I find that if you just plug away, you have to plug away every day, and that's the only way to get it done. You, uh,
He'll because he does everything. Because I know that
Yeah.
like if you're like a big company, there might be a penciler, an inker,
yeah
and,
they
like,
have
letter.
they have different
Yeah,
like
but he does
departments.
everything. So I like to produce for him to finish like one page would take, if he works all day, it'll take a day. Yeah.
Okay.
Like yeah.
Wow.
But he's gotten a little bit faster because before it would take more than a day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's also it's like trial and error that you find different ways to like
Right.
take breaks in between. I'm pretty sure because a lot of pencil work.
Right.
Because it's like hand, right? You're using like, or it's like digital. You use like digital.
I do it by hand. A lot of artists nowadays are doing it digitally.
Yeah,
But I do it all by hand traditionally.
yeah. That's what I was
Yeah.
asking because I've had other friends. Yeah, that they. There's one friend he had his own studio like 2 years ago, and he had like 20 different artists doing like different jobs, and they're all a lot of it was digital work, and not so much the traditional the pen and ink, paint, paper. Yeah.
I think the only thing we're considering is the lettering. For the
Mm.
third book that we kind of started working on, we're thinking of doing that digitally. But everything else we're going to still do by hand, or he's going to do by hand.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. And what about the title? You want to tell me a little about the
Out of Order?
Yeah.
Yeah. It came about, we were thinking like, through all the possible titles, and we decided on this one because it's kind of about like dysfunctional relationship, obviously because of his mental illness. But also the first book, for example, the first book kind of lays out the story.
Okay.
And it kind of goes backwards, so it's kind of like out of order. And then the other following 4 books are gonna go back and fill in the story. So it kind of has double meaning. It's like our relationship is like out of order, our lives are kind of out of order, but also the story's gonna
Oh,
be
okay.
not chronological. So it's
Yeah.
also out of order, so it has that second meaning.
Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Yeah. Because the only thing I thought about was like when you're like kind of like broken emotionally. That's what I was
Right.
thinking. Like
Yeah.
that's why it says like out of order. You can't
Yeah.
function because this happened in your life and you're just kind of like stuck and you're out of order. Like
Right.
you can't function.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But now I understand what you're saying. That as you go, as it progresses,
Uh-huh.
people can like, oh, that's why that happened.
Yeah.
Nice. And then so you're planning to do like just 3, or you're gonna have like a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So 3 more, so it'll be 5 in total.
5 in total.
Yeah.
And what about yourself? You said you do the writing part.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
is that your background? Is that
Well, I majored in English
Yeah.
in college, and I teach English to
Okay.
6th graders. And I've always wanted to become a writer, but I never thought that I would write like a comic book. It just kind of happened, and we thought it would be a good idea to collaborate, and we wanted to really tell this story about our lives. Kind of as helping out with the mental illness awareness too. So I actually wrote the story, so all the stories are actually already written.
yeah.
I wrote it in like one summer, and then after that I did edit here and there. But yeah, the stories are already written, so he's just trying to produce the art now.
Okay. And so like the first one, you want to tell us a little bit like just kind of a preview in case people want to pick it up and
Right. So this story kind of starts with it kind of flashbacks. So it starts with one scene where we've kind of like broken up, and then we're kind of like we run into each other at a supermarket, and then so you're kind of wondering, oh, like what happened, and then and then it kind of goes back and fills in the story, and then it goes backward, and then it. I guess I shouldn't tell too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it. I mean, but I guess you know, if you go to our website and
because I saw the website and there was a few panels on there,
right,
and I was already kind of getting the idea of what it was.
So and then it's just about our how we dealt with his mental illness, and then a lot of people tell us that I have like a 3-page afterward, kind of talking about mental illness and our struggles with it, and a lot of people say that they like cried reading it, and I cried a lot writing it. So I really hope that you don't just look at the story, but like read the afterword after the story. Yeah.
I think it's more because they can relate to it. Like I said, I haven't picked it up myself. I just saw like the panel on the website, so I was like, all right. So it's like more like an actual, like situations that people get into in real life. You know, because you read Spider-Man and he's fighting the Rhino, so that's not something like really gonna happen.
Right.
At least in this lifetime. But when I was looking at the panels, I was like, all right, this is like something relatable. This is something that can happen to anybody.
Right.
And it's good to put work out there like that because the same thing. People can relate and like know that they're not alone.
Right.
That's like one of the most important things, that people know that they're not just the only ones that have gone through something like that, and just kind of have another way of picking up that and reading it, and I mean, like, okay, things might be okay, things might get better. So
that's exactly what we wanted the comic books to do, and we've been really surprised by how many people have said after reading it, oh, like they have a mental illness, whether it be schizophrenia or bipolar or any other, or they say that they know somebody who has mental illness, like in the family or friend or coworkers. So that's been really surprising, how like prevalent it is, but nobody really likes to talk about it. So we're hoping that this will kind of open conversations, and hopefully people can kind of realize that they're not alone.
Yeah, and it's also like a different, I guess, like a platform, like, because I mean, I'm not professional, but I know that some ways of like dealing with like mental health is like people go to groups or go in like to classes, whereas this is more like privately. This is more like if people they're not really, because not everybody's open to that, so they're able to like pick up a book and like read it privately, and they're like, wow, this helps. Because we've had a couple of artists come on the show and speak on the topic. And the way they deal with like, and at first they really like closed off about it, but then once they know that what we're about, what we've gone to, I personally have gone to different like traumatic or traumas in life, so I'm able to like relate to many things that that our artists talk about. So we had one of our artists, she had a little it was like a plush toy, and we asked her like, oh, like, why are you carrying that? Then she told us why she was carrying it, and then she opened up about it, and it was great to have her open up about it. And then she also said, this helps like whoever was watching that day, because they, to let them know that they're not alone, that they're not just battling that on themselves.
So we try to really keep it honest, because it was, it's gotten a lot better, but it really took 20 years for us to kind of figure things out and find a balance, and for him to find the right medication and decide to stay on it. And there were lots of fights, and like there were a lot of dark moments. So we tried to capture all that and not make it, not romanticize it, but be really honest about the whole experience.
Yeah, I think that's the page on your website, right?
Yeah.
Like when she walks in and she's asking him about the pills that he's taking or that he's not taking.
Right.
I think that's what it was that caught my attention. Do you guys, like I said, personally, I haven't like taken a look at these, but do you guys have like info like where people can get like more like phone lines, or like where people can call, or like websites of that help with mental health?
Oh no.
No, I was just
Yeah,
asking. Yeah,
like
yeah.
like if they
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
talk to
yeah,
somebody,
yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure there are hotlines, but yeah, he just goes to like a psychiatrist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. I mean, getting help is very important. Like
right.
getting help, just in everything. So you guys met. You said, like, how this is 10 years, right? You guys
10
have been
years,
married.
yeah, yeah.
So when did you guys meet? Like,
We've actually known each other for, I don't know, ever since I was 9 and he was
oh,
17. Yeah, so
okay,
we're 8 years apart. So we met at church because his father is a pastor at a church and I went to
okay.
that church. So obviously we didn't get together then.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we got together like later on. So I think we've been together for like 15, 16 years and we've been married for 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, and then when the book itself, you said it's only a few months old, but the story is like a story that you wrote a few. Do you know how long ago or?
Oh, when did I write the story?
Yeah, because you said you did it one
Right.
summer, right?
Yeah, it must have been like a year ago. Yeah, so I think it was like summer 2017
Oh, okay, so it is
or
like a
maybe
recollection
6.
of the past,
Right.
like 15 years of just
Yeah.
different situations that you guys have gone through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. And like when it comes to like the printing, I saw that it has. Is that you guys label or is that like a printing company?
Yeah, so we're totally indie. So
Oh.
we got it printed through a company, but it's just self-published at this point.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking at that. Because, like I said, I personally, I don't know much about like the comic book industry or the comic book like background.
Right.
So I like to ask like every question I can find
Oh, okay.
on the actual like work itself.
Right. Yeah. So it's interesting too because we wouldn't have known how to put this together, but he was at not Kinko's anymore, but what's it called now?
Oh, like
FedEx.
FedEx print
Yeah,
or something?
yeah, and then so he was making a copy of one of like a comic book page that he had made, and then this guy came up to him and then started talking to him about.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, like, do you do comic books or write comic books or draw? And then so that guy is his boss now, and his
Okay.
name is Sadler. And then he invited him out to like this group at a comic book store
Yeah.
where are all these like aspiring comic book artists and writers meet together and they help each other out and then a lot of people there self-publish, so that's how we found out how to do it. And yeah.
It was a great coincidence.
Yeah,
That you went to print
yeah.
there that day. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, even that, because when you do see, like I said, like the bigger comic book companies, you see
Mhm.
all that, and you're like, yo, I don't think I could ever publish something like this.
Right.
So like, it's good to know that there are groups out there that people are able to like kind of go about and like ask questions.
Yeah, and then we also, table together at comic book conventions and tell each other about the conventions and things like that. So it's a very supportive group. Yeah.
And do they have a website or or is just everybody like on the Instagram?
It's called Sketchybug, and the comic book store is located in Manhattan Beach.
Okay.
And the comic book store is called Comic Bug. And I don't know if they have, I'm sure they have a web page, but if you just search that on like Instagram,
or Google.
yeah.
Google it, no?
Yeah.
You say comic bug?
Yeah, Comic Bug
Bug.
in Manhattan Beach, California.
Sorry, that's part of when we shoot independently.
Right.
Our location is like right here, so.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry about that.
That's
We get
alright.
interrupted sometimes.
Yeah.
But, people think we're still open because we are in the coffee shop. But yeah, do you guys have other like where can people find these, like what comic book stores?
So right now, at least the first one, so not the second one yet because we
Not the
haven't.
second one, guys.
we haven't released officially yet. But you can find this at Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach and also Heidi Ho in Santa Monica. I know they just moved, but I
Okay.
believe they're still in Santa Monica. So Heidi Ho Comics in Santa Monica.
Is that the one
Or-
that was there for years?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember that
So
one.
they just recently moved.
To like a bigger
Yeah,
location or something?
I'm not sure. Yeah, but it's still Santa Monica. And then you can also order online.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so online, because that way, like, people that aren't in California, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. You guys can order these through the website and get them shipped to you out of state, out of the country. And, yeah, do you guys have, when it comes to, like, do you guys have any, like, one artist that influences your work? Or, like,
Do you have?
Like-
Artists? Well, I've always been a fan of Arthur Adams.
you want to tell us about Arthur Adams?
Arthur Adams, he's a legend in the comic book industry, and also Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane. These guys are like my heroes that I look up to in comics. Yeah.
Do you have, like, a superhero that you're really into when it comes to comics?
Yeah, you know, that's hard to pick, hard to say, but I would probably go with Batman because he doesn't have any special powers.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but he's just like super well trained and like rich, and he uses like technological gadgets and gizmos. Yeah, so
Well, I mean, yeah, his superpower is probably being smart.
yeah, right.
Being smart.
Yeah,
He,
very
putting
smart.
all of that together, one guy.
Yeah,
Him and what's his butler's name?
Alfred.
Alfred.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think about the movies? The ones that are the recent ones.
Well, you know, I don't want to say anything bad about Marvel or DC movies.
It's all good.
They're both good, but I prefer the Marvel movies, to be honest with you.
The Marvel ones.
Yeah, like Avengers, the
Okay.
Infinity War. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I like the one with the Heath Ledger in it. That one movie.
Joker,
Yeah.
That was
that-
was great. Yeah.
Right. That's why I asked. That's what I was asking. But yeah. What about you? Do you have? Did you ever got into comics because of his background?
No, I mean, well, I'm not into superhero comics, but
Yeah.
I do like graphic novels, more realistic stories.
Oh.
So if you get into that genre, there's actually a lot out there. So I like people like Craig Thompson, Blankets, Alex Robinson, and T Bui. I think that's how you say her name, but just more realistic graphic novels. That's what I'm into.
Yeah. Do they have like one particular one that has like that you really like you know, like a title that people can look up to,
I
like that can look up, or like they want to maybe read it?
Yeah. So if I had to choose, I would probably choose Craig Thompson, and he wrote, and it's kind of like this, where it's like autobiographical, and it's called Blankets. And we're hoping that after this series, I actually recently, I've been working on writing his kind of like whole biography. So I'm hoping that it'll be something like Blankets. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good that you have like different you say authors
Uh-huh.
that you can look up to and like find similar work.
Right. Yeah.
Well, do you guys want to say any? Because we have a few minutes left. Do you guys want to say anything in regards to like the mental health and mental issue to our audience before we?
Yeah, I guess just I say in the first book afterward that there's a lot of stigma out there about mental illness, and like we were hiding the fact that he had schizophrenia even from my own family for years, and we actually came out about his mental illness with this book. So we released this book, and then I went to my mom, and I was so scared to tell her that he had schizophrenia. So she didn't know, and there's a lot of stigma around it. So people don't like to talk about it; they want to hide it. So we're hoping that by showing and being honest to our audience about what mental illness could be like, because I know that it's different for every person, that people will be more willing to talk about it. And because I think that a lot of times when we think of mental illness, we picture these like crazy people making a scene out on the street and right making trouble, and so they don't want to associate with that. But there are a lot of people out there that you probably don't even know that they have mental illness. They're on medication and they're taking care of themselves. They're working, and so they're just normal people out there trying to deal with this illness. So just if you know somebody who has a mental illness, or if you are, dealing with it, just know that you're not alone, and that it's, if you're diagnosed with something like bipolar or schizophrenia, that it's not the end of the world, that things do get better. And, it is a journey, and I'm not saying it's not going to be difficult. Things are going to be a lot more difficult for you than somebody who doesn't have a mental illness. But it's, it is something that you can work through, and you can still, live life. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And again, Hoken, if you want to reframe the camera. Thank you guys for taking the time to come out here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting
We appreciate your honesty. Like you said, that's very important when it comes to mental health. Because I don't know if you guys heard about it, but last month or the month before, Los Angeles had, I think it's called We Rise, up here on like near the art district. I don't know if it's still there, but it was like a whole gallery and different artists just putting mental health awareness month. I think that's what it was over there. So
yeah,
it's good to have like those kind of events, have like works like this, have people like yourself just put that honesty out there, and just that way everybody can get the help that they need.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you guys.
Thank
and
you.
Mike and Seol, thank you for coming on the Eskwilax Hour. There you go, guys. We got to get some gifts. Maybe we can keep them at the coffee shop. That way, if you guys want to read them, we'll have them here. Or we can also raffle them. And, maybe we can donate the proceeds to, like, a nonprofit that deals with also mental health. Somewhere along those lines. We'll figure it out. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you guys for coming along. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in a few minutes with the Eskwilax Hour 164. Thank you guys for these. Figure out. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to our second half with our third guest, Andrew. Over here at the Boyle Heights Hour. What the Boyle Heights Hour? What the hell?
We're at the Boyle Heights.
Let me start that over again. The Eskwilax Hour in Boyle Heights. But yeah, thank you, Andrew, for being here with us.
Thank you.
Have you heard about the show before?
I've heard of you guys and I've seen your posts on Instagram, but I haven't seen.
Yeah,
the
we
show
like
yet.
to annoy everybody with our weird posts about everything.
It's cool. I think I enjoy like what you guys do for the community. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we try. I mean, we try to use our platform, as much as we can. At one point, we even were doing the shows at the coffee shop. I don't know if you heard about that. We had like an art walk thing going on, but then we got busted because it was like, we were just doing things. Like
illegit.
I mean, no, because we thought about it. We're like, all right, we should shoot. Like, this is a joke I do all the time. It's like we should shoot somebody cutting hair, and then on the next episode we put somebody cutting hair. Like that was it. Like you can find that episode on YouTube.
Is that a joke?
Yes. No, it's not actually. You can find an episode where there's a girl. She's a barber chick, and she's cutting one of our hosts' hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We think about it. We're like, we'll just do it. We're gonna see.
Fuck it, that's cool. Any art, it's art. Why not?
Yeah, it's art. It's creative.
Yeah.
Our motto is art and getting creative. But enough about us. Tell us about yourself, man. How did what is it? Androoby?
Androoby. Yeah.
Androoby.
My name's
How'd you get your nickname or your artist name?
Oh well, it was just growing up. Like I had some cousins and they would bully me and they called me Androoby. And it kind of like
okay.
kind of stuck with me.
All right.
So-
That works. Now you're embracing it.
Yeah.
All right. Why not?
It's my handle, I guess.
Androoby.
It was my handle from MySpace also.
Yeah. Oh, dang. MySpace days.
So it goes back, yeah.
Did you ever able to code everything? Did MySpace
yeah.
teach you coding?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, right? It's
Legit.
crazy how people didn't think about what it was before.
I know, right?
But were you doing art back then also? How long have you been doing art or making art?
Well, before I used to skateboard and then I was making videos, so I was making some edits and
Different type of art.
yeah, different type of art. Skateboarding itself, it's its own art, so
Yeah, exactly. I skated for like a year. It was the dopest time in my life.
yeah, it's fun. And eventually I wanted to like design skateboards, so I think that's how I got into painting.
Have you
And
designed some?
I paint
skateboards?
skateboards, but
Yeah?
I haven't like digitally designed anything yet. But
Nice.
I stuck to the painting because I had a daughter and I had to kind of put skating aside.
Yeah, of course. Your responsibilities first.
Yeah.
Did you pursue art like when you say in high school, right? Were you doing like art classes and like?
Yeah, I took like 2 art classes in high school, and I decided to be an artist like after, maybe at 19.
And you pursued that in college? Did you go pursue like art education after it or?
Yeah, I've been going to ELAC for a while now,
Okay.
so I'm still doing it.
Of course. And
Yeah.
from like sketching and like acrylic painting, oil painting, and watercolor, what's your favorite medium?
Well, I consider myself an oil painter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oil, I've never tried that, but it looks like that's like the finest you can get, like oil.
It's okay.
Yeah?
I think acrylic lasts longer, they say.
Really?
Yeah, because it's plastic, and then like oil, if it's too thin, it cracks. So
Mm. But I
But-
mean, like, you know how they have like the 200-300-year-old paintings, or like, I don't know if that's too exaggerated, but maybe 100-year-old paintings.
yeah, those you have to
Like
restore
oils.
them. You know, you have
Yeah.
to take care of them. But yeah,
Um,
definitely oil is probably like you need a. There's a lot to it, you know, a lot of techniques, and you have more flexibility than like acrylic, you know.
Yeah, I've never used it. I one time, this is dumb, but one time I stole an oil thing. Like, this was when I was like, I don't know, 14,
Yeah.
at an art store, and I took it home thinking it was like acrylic. So I squeezed the thing, and I smelled it, and like, yo, I almost passed out. Like,
Yeah, really.
yeah, like, cause it was so strong. Like, I didn't know what it was. I think I even tasted it.
Yeah.
That's where the memory problems I have come
Yum.
from. Like, you know, cause it was different. It wasn't, cause we were used to like taking acrylic and like writing our names on the floor.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing with my first oil too. I tried tagging with it.
Yeah, and so we
And
were
then
like,
somebody sits on it and their pants are like, oh.
damn.
So yeah.
It was more of the smell. The smell really hit me in the head. I was like, this isn't acrylic. This isn't like
Yeah,
normal.
you need ventilation.
Yeah.
And then the stuff you need to clean your brushes, that's like even worse. So.
Wow. But it's part of the art,
Yeah,
right?
It's part of the process, part of the the passion. It's definitely a passion for me.
And then is that would you do professionally like right now at this point in your life?
Yeah, I've been doing like small shows, like art walks, cafes and stuff like that. But I think my true goal is probably like gallery walls.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's LA. We're like one of the biggest
Yeah.
places where you can take your art and have it shown and
Yeah, it's like
exhibit it.
the art mecca.
Exactly. Yeah, and like, at least on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So you're right the place. You're doing the right things. I'm pretty sure you paint like as much as you can, right?
Yeah, I do. But you never know where you're going with painting.
Do you have any series you're working on right now?
Right now, I need money, so I've been working on a lot of commissions.
Yeah.
So, but my style tends to go like on the dark side, and I always want to make like some sort of show like revolving around.
Like dark.
like-
What do you mean? Like the subjects? Like.
Well, it has my topics are mainly like the subconscious,
Okay.
like your thoughts, thinking, like overthinking, your thoughts like getting knotted up, like,
Okay.
loosening up. So that's kind of like the idea. I want to like have the bigger image of like my artwork.
Sweet. So you haven't done a whole series on that yet.
If you look at all my work, it all kind of goes together. So
And where can they find you? Where can they find your artwork? Do you have a website or?
my main handle is like Instagram. I'll be on Instagram mostly, Androoby.
Yeah.
Facebook kind of retired that.
Yeah, there's nobody really on Facebook. It's pretty dead.
But right now, I think like just trying to get to know people. Coming to things like this, and like getting my name out.
Yeah, I mean, you said you do like art walks and stuff. Like, which
Yeah.
one do you like go most? What was the
Well,
most recent one?
My last one was Montebello.
Oh, with KTCA.
Yeah, so I started the first art walk in 2004. Like I was part of that, 2014
Over there in.
in Montebello.
Oh, really?
So then I think it's been like 5 years now, or like
Wow.
almost 5 years. So it's growing over there, but I
I
kind of feel
bet.
like I'm trying to evolve from that.
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of our artists that we meet on the show, outside of the show, we see them, go from like to the Montebello to the Northeast LA, and then we'll see them at galleries, we'll see them in downtown. So yeah, it's like that. I guess they just like everybody just.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about LA. Like everyone knows each other, Like you could know somebody from South LA, and I'm from like Northeast LA, so
There you go. Northeast Nella. That's
Yeah.
what they call it, Nella out there.
LA.
All you Nellas.
Tiny little Elster,
But yeah, man. Where do you see yourself like with your art, like later on in the future? Like you said, you wanted to like design skateboards, or like is that
Yeah.
something like in the plans of the future plans, or?
Yeah, definitely. I think wherever it takes me, like I don't think I want to just mainly design skateboards.
Yeah.
I want to do like the galleries and stuff. But any freelance work would be pretty cool.
You like to work like smaller pieces, like the ones you have here, or like bigger pieces?
I try to do things that I don't want to do. So, and I think that's how I've been like growing this past year, just doing things I don't want to do and getting it over with.
That's a good process.
So I've been trying to work bigger. The biggest I've worked is a mural we did in me and my friend Javier. He set something up for us off Atlantic, or 3rd and Woods. It's like a 5-panel mural,
Okay.
and that was like our last big project. And I want to do more things like that because murals are pretty dope too.
Yeah. Murals are their own thing, process. But that's good to try new things.
I got a picture of it.
Yeah. You got it. He's gonna zoom in. Oh, yeah, okay. I think I saw that on your IG. Right? You have that one, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So shout out to Javier for.
Does he have an Instagram handle?
Yeah, it's ordinary.
Ordinary,
Yeah.
right?
Order, period, nary. So here, dude. Check it out.
And then you guys worked on it like as a like together, or you guys did different panels?
Yeah, it was a 5-person collaboration.
And which one did you work on?
I did the Frida one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, it was like her birthday or something? Like
Yeah,
100th
recently.
birthday? Yeah, recently. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of tend to lean towards surrealism, so I think like, Frida's my thing,
What about Dali?
Yeah.
You into Dali?
come
You
on,
like Dali?
Dali's sick, but too many people try to be like him. I try
Hey,
to do my own thing.
Yeah. I mean, like a modern.
I used to have his mustache actually.
Do you have a photo of that on your IG?
Probably.
You guys need to look that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tight. And these are how, like 20 feet.
I think it's like 14. I think this one starts at 15 feet, and then like the ground like lowers, so mine went up to 19.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the message? Cause is that like an actual Frida painting, or that's like your own?
Oh, it was a bunch of at that time, well, presently too. I painted Frida like in a tuxedo,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like empowering people to take on their own identity, like be who they want, follow what they want, do.
Yeah, cause I see there's like a portrait and there's like another like painting within it, right?
Yeah, it was just like different aspects of her art. But the main message was empowerment.
Okay, just kind of like
Yeah.
you said, be who you.
And then I guess there's like a fallen column, and it represents like breaking down like structured norms, like things that are already set into society, kind of like breaking them
Yeah.
and doing your own thing. So yeah.
That's what we're all about. You're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Like cutting people's hair on TV.
You
Yeah.
want to cut my hair? My hair is pretty long.
We have to bring a professional for that.
All right, cool.
What about these two right here? You want to tell us a little about these?
Yeah.
Because I know you brought this one, and hopefully one day we'll stop by and like we'll go take a look at it in
it's off
person.
3rd and Woods
Third and Woods.
by Elac.
Elac. Gotcha.
So here's one piece.
You can hold it. There you go. I want to tell the audience
So this
what's
is
going on here.
one of my first paintings, and it kind of like set the direction of where I want to be as an artist. The idea of the number 2, it comes from like dualities. It can mean anything really, but I
The
think
good and the bad.
yeah, the good and the bad, love, enemies, reflections. So it means a lot to me, and I think I try to portray it in all my artwork. And this was a self-portrait.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about the character?
This is about a personality split. You're two people. You're one thing to one person and something else to somebody else. So very psychological.
Well, they say that you're to everybody you meet, you're a different person.
Yeah.
So like you said, like you're one thing to your mother, one thing to your daughter or son.
Yeah.
And then you're one thing to your best homie. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Do you recommend any books on like what?
On what this is about?
Yeah.
I don't do much reading, but I should.
I just said that because I read that. Like I read
Yeah, you
that
did?
somewhere that, and I found it very interesting because I'm like, I didn't think of that. Like, my sister could think I'm like, the greatest brother, but then like the guy next door, like, yeah, that guy's a dick.
Yeah. That's how people feel about me.
What about the palette? Is there a reason why it's like grays and black?
This was actually a series of its own. So it was like the black and white series, I guess.
Okay.
I ended up painting like 10 of these panels.
10?
Yeah.
Because these are like wooden panels, right?
They're actually like roof tiles for like the auditorium at Elac.
Okay.
So
And
they took them down and they just stacked them and people like took them.
okay.
So like
That's tight.
free canvas.
Right. You use what you have.
You gotta do what you gotta do with sometimes.
And then if somebody wanted to, are these for sale?
This
Not
one
this
probably
one?
not. You know, I have a lot of original artwork, and I don't have a lot of prints. So, you know, it's kind of like I always try to think about things like, should I sell this? Should I sell that?
Yeah, you get attached to it.
Yeah, but you know, best offer.
There you go, guys. Best
Why not?
offer. What about this next one? Is it also on the like this type of canvas?
Yeah, this is also the same material. It's like a MFD board.
MFD board.
Same series. But this one also like ties into the theme of like psychology, like your thoughts being wound up, tied together.
Okay. What made you like do like a series, like you said, black and white, and tie it into like the human mind and psychology and all of that?
Well,
Is that something that you've been exploring since when you were like young? Like,
no, I
just-
think this series pretty much dived me into that kind of thinking. But
was there like an influence in your life that you just started like, yo, what about why this, why that?
I don't know. I think that's part of growing up. You question everything, you know.
Yeah.
Like everything that's some things that are laws today, like they're not right. So you question everything, and this is kind of the basis of this was the thinker. Ever seen that sculpture?
Yeah, and the dude's just sitting. Yeah.
So it's about having like infinite thought.
Yeah, the infinite symbol.
Yeah.
And he has like he has the different form, right? He has like 3 arms,
Yeah.
4
So-
arms actually. Right.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
And where did you show these? You said these were part of a series, like at ELAC or?
Well, it's just a series that I painted, but I've displayed them like different places, different art walks, downtown, Montebello.
Okay. You have anything else to say about this one?
Yeah, actually later in like more recent, I did the same concept, but kind of like how it's all tied up.
Yeah.
How it's all tied up. It's unraveling, and it's kind of like getting rid of all the like pressured thoughts and like
Okay. But you didn't bring that one, right?
No, that one's big. It's like about this big.
Okay. Put this one.
But yeah, it's always to learn more. I think
Yeah.
that's why I started these, just to like kind of get better.
Like use these like a study and then
Yeah,
progress from there.
they're all studies to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you like surrealism, right?
Yeah.
And you said you're into well you like Frida's work.
Mhm.
Do you have one favorite painting?
By Frida. I do like the one Las Dos Fridas. That was really dope.
Las dos Fridas? Yeah.
That was
That's
dope.
with them sitting together, right? And she's kind of just 2 different.
Yeah. I do like her photography a lot. Like pictures of Frida. Does inspire me too, because she was a real person. She's not just
Right,
She's
yeah.
not just a painting.
She lived like a surreal life.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about Diego? How do you feel about Diego?
Diego, I never really observed his work, but I knew he was like a communist.
Yeah, because he's
Right.
also some of her paintings. Like he was
Yeah.
part of her life, part of her work.
I don't know, communism.
Hey, that's what you read in the painting, right? That's an honest opinion. Why not? But yeah. What about Dali?
Dali, I think I've kind of studied his work more, like as in kind of taking things apart,
Yeah.
just throwing them out there.
Do you title your work? Like, do these all have like titles similar to Dali? I don't know if you heard the title of his work when he's all like,
Like a message.
yeah, they're long.
Nah, my titles are kind of self-explanatory. Like, if I say like what I see, like I'll name it. Like this
Yeah.
one. This one's called Boar.
Boar?
Like a boar.
Yeah. That says 2015. Is that what that
Yeah.
is? 15.
These are from 2015.
Okay.
This one's called
Uh,
Thinking About Infinitium. Infinitium.
Thinking about infinitum.
Yeah. So it's thinking infinitely.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's a major part of being an artist, you know, just thinking things.
Just questioning
Questioning.
techniques, life in general.
Yeah. Life. Being philosophical.
Right?
Yeah.
So do you have like one piece right now, like within your collection, that has like a really deep message?
Yeah, I do, but they're unfinished, you know.
Oh, they're unfinished. Okay,
I have-
okay.
My bigger works are unfinished, but I feel like they tell more of a message. And yeah.
It's all like from your personal life and like just what's going on around you, putting it
Yeah.
all in a.
Yeah, it's hard to find time like to paint constantly, especially when, you know, I got a daughter, so
Yeah, yeah, you know, you have.
got to be working. And yeah, I tried being unemployed for a while and just painting straight,
Yeah, it's tough.
but yeah, you starve.
Um,
Especially when you got mouths to feed, you know, it's not easy.
I bet, man. I'm pretty sure. How old is your daughter? Or
My daughter,
if you don't mind me asking.
she's 4. She just turned 5. Her name's Summer.
Hi, Summer. Um, does being like creative or an artist run in your family? Like, do you see it in her, like picking up like a pencil and like imitating you?
Yeah, I try to get her to paint, but as far as mine teaching, like, no one really drew or painted in my family.
Any musicians?
Magicians, nah. We're
Musicians.
Oh, I thought you said magicians. I said magicians. Did you say magicians?
No, musicians. Like music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No magicians.
Or magicians. Hey, that's a talent.
But yeah, I'm first generation, and you know, all my aunts and uncles, my parents, they worked for us.
All right.
They gave us everything we have. So
Yeah, of course. Where are they originally from?
my mom's from Guadalajara and my dad's from El Salvador.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so I know what exactly you're talking about. You know, whenever somebody comes to a new country, the first thing is survival, work,
Yeah.
and just provide.
Yeah.
And then the next generation is the one that kind of gets to like question and like, you know, where did I come from? Who am I?
Yeah.
Because I have siblings. I'm not from here. I'm originally from Mexico. So,
Mhm.
but my sibling that was born here, that's how she is. You know, she likes to question. She likes to know where she came from or where we came from. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I have a couple friends that like kind of dive more into that idea of like their ancestry.
yeah,
But me, I kind of wish I did it more, but
no, I mean I mean your situation is different. You have, like you said, mouths to feed.
yeah.
So some things aren't as, you know,
Yeah.
you know, you got to put that first.
Mhm.
You have to, like, you know, either get like a 9 to 5 or get into a situation where you're able to like make more art and also make some money off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of happy like about the commissions I'm getting right now.
Yeah, you want
You
to put
know?
it out there, like you want to just tell people what are your like, what do you look for or what they can hit you up for.
Yeah, well, just hit me up on Instagram and you know, I'll work on some commissions. It's not my favorite thing to do, to be honest, but you know, we all need money.
But I mean, do you paint like, you know, some people paint pets, buildings, portraits? Does anything
yeah,
goes
portraits.
or?
I like to do portraits. Portraits are like good practice for me. So if you guys want a portrait, you know, hit me up
At Androoby, right?
at Androoby. Yeah.
Androoby. There you go, guys.
Yeah.
You have any shout outs before
yeah,
we finish? We have like a few minutes, so.
Last year I did me and some friends did a fundraiser called Quince Night.
Quince night, okay.
Yeah, it's like a quinceañera themed fundraiser, and we pulled some money for DACA recipients.
Oh, I'm a
And-
DACA recipient.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. I don't know, you guys, like I said, you fundraise it and then donated the money to like an organization or
Yeah,
something.
we donated the money to an organization.
thank you, sir, for
To-
doing that.
to
I'm pretty
Caresen.
sure. Oh yeah, Caresen. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Yeah.
So in August we're doing Quince Night too, and I think it's more like women's rights, kind of those things. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like about the child imprisonments over there at the border,
Yeah.
but I am hoping to do like a painting revolving around that for the show.
Okay.
So Quince Night's $15. Next month,
Is that like the participation fee?
yeah, it's $15.
Like a hanging fee?
You know, if you have some art, hit me up. You know, maybe we could put up your art for the show. It's gonna be at Plaza de la Raza.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit you up because I make art too. So.
Yeah, it's a really nice venue. So, you know.
Yeah, and we like to support all arts. You know, anything that's positive. So, we're gonna definitely hit you up. And if we don't hit you up, you can probably shoot us a message. 'Cause
Yeah, definitely.
we forget. I forget.
I would like to see you guys there.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Again, thank you for your work that you've been that you did with Caresen when it came to the DACA,
Yeah.
and all future work, because we do need everybody kind of like putting the some work in when it comes to like these important issues.
Yeah,
'Cause they don't
exactly.
solve themselves, so we all kind of have to do our part.
Yeah, fight for the people.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. I want to thank Androoby, for coming through and kicking it with us here for these 20 minutes that we had. And we'll be back in a few minutes with our next guest. This is the Eskwilax Hour 164. Efrain and Andrew. Be back.
Thanks.
Déjame clarificarte algo. Soy flor, no delicada, flor cabrona. Déjame clarificarte algo. Soy flor, no delicada, flor cabrona. Admira mi belleza iluminando en mis pétalos, pero siente mi fuerza y coraje de independencia en mis espinas. En el jardín me quedo tranquila y callada. Declárame guerra y en vez de oler mi dulce fragancia, huele el calor de mi sangre hirviendo llena de perseverancia. Arráncame la vida, quítame de mi tierra, donde una vez pisé, se quedan mis semillas enteras. ¿Tú crees que me puedes hacer desaparecer, separando de mis raíces, negándome agua para beber? Abre tus ojos, investiga por el mar. Mi raza existe como el aire está en todo el lugar. Déjame clarificarte algo. Soy flor, no delicada, flor.
You guys are? So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We can start by introducing you guys. What are your names?
My name is Ruben.
Ruben? Oh, I gotta talk to the mic.
My name is Ruben.
And you, ma'am?
I'm Gabby.
And you guys come from
Originally from Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm from here. I'm from LA. I grew up in, like downtown area, pretty close.
And what do you guys do? What is your organization?
So basically, right now, we see a lot of need back home. We're both from El Salvador, meaning that our lands right now, not only are they being taken away by companies that are coming from elsewhere, but also our indigenous people are hurting out there pretty bad. So we created we created not an organization, but rather just a media.
Did they tell you this was live? Yeah, this is live. This is. I know that was part of it. That's exactly why we're the Eskwilax Hour, because we do things live and then we just go from there. Hey guys, welcome to the last part of our hour, which is 2 hours. Kind of makes no sense, but yeah, this is 164. I'm my friend. We have Ballpoint Bruja here with us. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I was just asking you. You want to tell us where did you grow up? Where?
I grew up in La Mirada, so
La Mirada? Okay.
I've lived in SoCal my whole life. So.
How is that over there? Is there like an art scene out there? Or?
Not really. I mean, somewhat if you go towards the OC, like towards Fullerton more, there's a little bit of an art scene, but it's a different art scene than LA. But yeah, it's kind of like nuzzled right in the middle of like OC and LA County, so it's an interesting place to live. But
yeah.
Yeah.
What's like a really good food spot out there?
Oh gosh, there's really good pho places. There's
Pho?
a big Korean population in La Mirada, so there's lots of good Korean, Vietnamese food. I like Asian food, so.
All right. Well, I mean, growing up out there, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of options. Like I personally don't recall going out that far from like LA County, so you're our first artist from La Mirada, as far as I can remember, and my memory sucks. So, but yeah, you want to tell us about your artwork? What kind of art do you?
Yeah, so I make art under the name Ballpoint Bruja. I've always been doing art like my entire life. I kind of started doing like my first love was acrylic and oil paint, and then I started doing solely ballpoint art probably within the past 2 or 3 years. So lots of influence, obviously, from like Chicano, Chicanx culture, and also a lot of tattoo styles is what influenced me, and I like playing with, light and dark contrast. So yeah, I've been doing that for a while, and I really like it. I really like the pen as a tool, and it's a cheap tool for me to use as a college student.
Bet, yeah.
And it's something that I can carry with me wherever I go, and so I like that idea of being able to do art wherever I am, because I have like what I need to do it. So yeah.
How do you choose your subjects? Like, how do you choose what to draw or what to sketch with your ballpoint pen?
I draw inspiration from a lot of different things. I really like drawing girls a lot. I just like
the form.
Yeah, I like the form. I like drawing eyes, and I feel like on women or like feminine like entities, it's like a lot more fun to draw, you know, very exaggerated eyelashes or eyes, lips as well. So I'm always drawn towards drawing very feminine things. But other than that, I choose like really Chicano iconography. I've been into a lot of like Japanese iconography as well lately.
Oh, that's interesting.
So yeah, like no theater faces and just a lot of like traditional Japanese iconography as well. So
That's sick. Yeah, because I know that I read also online that like the Asian community also they get into like drawing like Chicano type art, which is interesting because it's like on the other side of the ocean. They have like a whole lowrider culture out there.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. I mean, I thought it was interesting, but I do know. I think his Instagram handle is like Night of the Funkster or something.
Yeah,
He does
yeah.
ballpoint like pen, nice work too. But there is a very large like culture out there that's influenced by like Chicanx ballpoint as well. So,
do you have like an artist that you look up to or that's been an influence when it comes to your ballpoint work?
There's a lot of artists that I look up to, a lot of current artists. I mean, Soto Gang is one of them. Chuco Moreno, he's like an artist that I look up to too. A lot of tattoo artists, M. Scott, Olivia Cates, they do a lot of really, really nice ballpoint. But yeah, most are doing tattooing, and that's trying to where I'm trying to take.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Do you also like do tattooing on people, or not yet? Or?
I'm learning to. I had just gotten handed down a power machine and a tattoo machine, so I have a book that I'm like trying to teach myself. Yeah. So hopefully, you know, by the end of the summer, I'll start doing like actual skin. But I've been sitting on this idea for some time now, so I really want to actualize it.
I mean, most people, they practice on themselves, right? I've seen that. Like, they'll like tattoo themselves.
Yeah, that's the best advice I've gotten from like any tattooer. They're like, just practice on your legs, like on anyone that'll let you practice. But yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got one of my tattoos by a friend of mine. He's like, I'm going to practice on you. I'm like, all right, why not? Hook up the homie. So I have like this tattoo up here that's like...
Well, when I start tattooing...
yeah, if I have like
let me know.
any spots left.
Oh, you're all tatted then.
You can't tell.
I can't tell.
Nah, just like a couple here, here, and then here.
So there's space.
Yeah, there's space. This is canvas. How about the other way around? Have people like gotten tattoos of your work?
I
like,
believe
do they hit you up or stuff?
Yeah. I think there's one girl that has the Sacred Heart that I drew. And then I just got a commission from another girl to design her tattoo. So I always welcome, like, if people want to commission me for their tattoo designs or for just anything. Or if people want to use my designs, like, for right now, like, since I can't tattoo it myself, I'm okay with other people getting it done. But once I start tattooing by myself, I kind of want me to be the one tattooing my own work. So, but yeah, there have been a lot of inquiries about getting my work tattooed, and like I really am like so honored that people like want my art on their body. So
you should be. I mean, it's there forever, right? Well, until the people. Yeah. How did you get your nickname or your artist name? Or it was just like something playful?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a play on words. A lot of my friends are Brujas. My tias, some of my tias are Brujas as well. I don't practice it as much, but I know the culture of it. Okay. So it was kind of a play on words there. So, you know, a Bruja with a ballpoint pen.
And when it comes to your work, is it like a standard 11x8? Is that the biggest you work? Because of the actual pen work, because it's so fine?
You know, when I started doing them, it was all like 11x8 or bigger. But I kind of wanted to take it down a little bit smaller in a more confined space. That way I could pay more attention to detail. And in reality, I kind of wanted to start building my portfolio and practicing for when I would tattoo people. And most of the time, it's not going to be like an 11 by 8 size that I'll be working with. So I kind of wanted to start training myself to work in more smaller confined spaces and still hold the detail of a piece.
And yeah, because like you said, like most people won't get like a full body,
Right.
And so it's good to practice. But so when you get there, because I tried it myself and it wasn't something that I wanted to do.
Tattooing?
Yeah, it was like you have to be very patient. So what you do, I admire it, and because like I have no patience for like detail, so like painting is way easier for me. It's just like
Yeah.
So watching like artists like yourself, sitting down and just taking the pen, line by line, and all cross hatching, all the different techniques. It's like I admire it because I can't do it. Like,
Yeah, it's very time consuming, I will say that, but it's very therapeutic in a way. But I think I kind of have to be like in the zone, like in the right state of mind to like want to sit down and do that.
Yeah.
Or else I'm just going to try and rush through it and it's not going to come out nice. But it does take some time, but it's worth it in the end, I think.
Have you worked on that's taken a really long time? Like, what's the longest you've sat down like with one piece?
I think when I did one of like my sad girl pieces, the Never As Good As the First Time one, the hair on that one had a lot of detail. I drew her with a lot of hair. So I think that one, for the hair alone, it took like a good 2 or 3 hours just for the hair. And that's an 11 by 8 piece.
Yeah.
So that's off the top of my head, the one that I can think that took the longest, just because of the detail in the hair.
And like, because you have to take breaks, I imagine, right? Because like a lot of wrist work involved in like pen work.
Right. Yeah. I already know that I'm gonna have problems with my wrists and with my hand, especially if I go into tattooing. So it's just a reality that I'm like accepting.
Maybe
already.
like you should train it more.
I know. Do some like wrist stretches.
Yeah, the little dumbbells that they have, like.
Oh, they have those?
Yeah, the tiny ones, like 5 pounds. That's what because people do it. They've been tattoo artists for years, and I don't think like I'm pretty sure there's techniques and things you can do to like get a stronger wrist or something.
I'm sure I'll probably have to figure them out though.
And you said you're a student.
I am a student. Yeah, I go to Fullerton College. My major is art history. I've been thinking about maybe doing a minor in Chicano studies because I want to kind of just focus on like art from Mexico.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm hoping to transfer out of community college soon, but that's where I'm at right now.
Do you have you ever been to LACMA?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had recently like paintings from like the 1800s by Mexican painters. Mm-hmm. Did you go see that one?
Yeah, and then they also had like Olmec pieces in Aztec from like Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see those?
Yeah. I think that's the permanent one, right? The permanent display.
I don't know.
Because they have every now and then they bring the ones that are like traveling.
Right.
Then they have like the permanent one.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think it's a permanent one, because I think that they said they just extended the stay of those pieces until like November. But yeah, those are really interesting. One of the last art history classes that I took was like art of Mexico. So like starting from Olmec to like Mixtec, Zapotec, Aztec. Yeah. And so seeing those pieces in like real life was like a trip. It was really cool.
Yeah, you get like the energy from them.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what made you like you said, like think about the minor in like Chicano studies or?
Well, I had been doing a lot of art history courses at my school, mainly from Europe or like from Asia. But once I did like my art history from Mexico class, I was just like, I knew it was like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I want to study. I've never been so interested in this kind of art. Like, I mean, not that I'm not interested in European art, but it's just not to the same degree as I had for like Mexican art. So I think that if I do decide to do like a minor in like Chicanx studies, that it'll pair well with an art history type of thing.
And what about like your family? Are they like, do they have background from like Mexico or?
They do. My grandma on my dad's side is from Jalisco.
Okay.
And then my mom's side, they're not like 100% sure where they're from. But yeah, from Mexico.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then so like that's why maybe like that's why you're also like kind of
Yeah.
trying to find more like in that background where
Yeah, exactly. I felt like out of all the type of art that I've learned about, I had the most connection, like personal connection to Mexican art. So, you know, I just felt like I needed to study
do
that.
you have like an artist, like a Mexican artist that like you like their work most?
There's a lot of contemporary artists from Mexico that I like. A lot of groups emerged like in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
So like I like a lot of the artist groups, and I like the idea of like the
Back then, those days, I think it was like a lot political work, right?
It was
There's a
very
lot of
political, yeah. And you know, a lot of my friends are activists. I consider myself like active in my community and stuff, so I always appreciate like political work and stuff. So a lot of the groups I know were like influenced by the politics that were going on in Mexico at the time.
Yeah, like Diego,
Yeah.
and he was like communism. You see a lot of the
Yeah.
flags in his work.
Right,
Red,
right.
him and Frida, you know.
Mhm.
I think they got banned, right, from New York or something, or they got
Yeah.
kicked out for that.
Yeah, yeah, they were pretty crazy, but yeah. There was also a lot of groups that just made art about the injustices that were going on. One of my favorite contemporary artists is Teresa Margolles.
Okay.
She's still alive. She like gained her fame in like the 90s, but she did a lot of work in the 90s that spoke on just how people were being murdered at the time, not only from like drug cartels, but from the government directly and stuff.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate like women of color in their art and, you know, speaking on those injustices. So
Yeah, I mean, especially down south in Mexico, there's a lot of like things that living in this side of the border, it's like you're grateful. You're like, you know.
Yeah.
So we try to take those, you know, our current situation and help those that can't get help.
right.
Because it's tough. It's tough. Does that like also influence some of your work? Like, does it like bleed into your like?
I think it does, but in a way that doesn't really influence my style, but gives me drive to actually create art. Just seeing like artists like her, or just in general, doing what they love and doing it so passionately and like fully, that's what gives me the drive to like create my own art. So even though it doesn't directly influence my style or subject matter,
Like you're not like drawing Zapata or
Right.
Because I don't know if you saw, we have one up here by an artist, local artist.
I didn't see it. No,
Yeah,
I'll
I think
have
it's
to check it out.
Zapata. He's like drinking coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, you gotta get your coffee on before you battle. But yeah, like where do you see yourself? I know you said like tattoo work, but more like on the pen side. Like, have you been in like galleries recently, or?
The most recent thing I did was Tribe Called Culture with Let's Give. I'm trying to start getting my work into more galleries. That was one of my first times that I've displayed my ballpoint art.
Yeah.
So now that I have it prepped and framed and like ready to go, I'm trying to like get it out there more. But I do hope to be in more galleries. Other than tattooing, I have been interested in maybe going towards clothing more.
Okay.
I've been wanting to do clothing for a while. I just like the idea of a piece looking different on each wearer.
Yeah.
And kind of the idea of like art in motion and how that changes, you know, the subject, I guess. So yeah, I've been trying to take it that direction. So maybe some clothing. I was thinking like one of my friends is a designer. So we were
Like a collaboration.
yeah, we were thinking of doing a collaboration. Maybe do some lingerie, some
Okay,
ballpoint
yeah. I mean,
lingerie.
it's always good to step out of your normal zone.
Yeah.
And just kind of like experiment, because you
Right.
never know what you can, you know, come out with. But do you have anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to say hi to?
Shout out to my brother because it's his birthday today.
Oh, it's his birthday?
It's his birthday today, my little brother, yeah. So he turns 16, so shout out to my brother, Jaden.
Shout outs, Jaden.
And then
Hope you're watching. If you knew this was live.
Yeah.
Marco should have said that.
But yeah. It's my one shout out. And then my homegirls, and then obviously my family.
Shout out to everybody out there in La Mirada. I almost forgot there. But yeah, what about would you have any what do you call it, advice for anybody that's starting with like to work with pen?
I guess my best advice would just be to be patient. To be patient and to trust it. My art teacher always told me, like, you have hundreds and hundreds of like bad pieces in you. You just need to get them out, and and then you can start doing, you know, the good ones. Yeah.
Are there any exercises that you can like practice, like when it comes to pen? Because like I know it's a weird question, but it just came out of my head.
I don't know. I would say maybe just practicing how you hold the pen. I think that's what's going to make the biggest difference on how it translates to the paper. So the lighter that you hold the pen and the lighter that you like your touches, then that's going to create that like smoother effect and that blending. And then when you want to add contrast, that's when you make the ink darker and, you know, tighten your grip a little bit and apply more pressure. So I guess that would be a practice. I don't know.
Hey, if they're watching, they'll practice.
Yeah.
What about like the pen brand? What pen brand is really good to like?
My
work
favorite
with?
is honestly just the Bic, like the ones that come in the pack.
Yeah,
They're,
like you
the
buy, like,
cheapest
yeah.
ones. Yeah, those are my favorite. I think the Bic blue is the nicest. As for black pens, I don't really have a preference. There's ones that I don't like, but I just can't think of the names of them. They're really inky though, and they don't blend well. But the Bic ones, cheapest ones, you get them in like, what is it, like a 10 pack, and
There you
they're
go,
the
Blake.
greatest.
Sponsor. No, but yeah, you can sponsor her. Send her like a box of
Lifetime supply
Blake pens.
of Bic.
They do have art shows like that, like where it's all like pen work. Like, I remember. I think one was like all Sharpies. Those are really interesting.
Yeah, I've seen them. I haven't been to one in person, but I've heard about them. Yeah, that'd be interesting too. I'm not too good with Sharpie, but.
No, saying more like just pen, like all pen.
Oh, okay.
That'd be interesting. Cool. Like when it comes to bending, do you bend your stuff? Like, do you sell it like different events or just different places?
Some of recently, as of recently, I started selling my stuff. There's some that originals that I haven't sold yet, just because I have more planned to do with them that I would need the originals for, as far as like maybe doing clothing or something like that. But yeah, I have started selling original pieces, and then like I said, my commissions are open too, so people will commission me to do stuff as well. But I'm trying to push that more, because
it's good practice also.
Yeah, it is, but it's so hard. I get so attached to my pieces after I'm done with them. They're like my babies, so it's always such a struggle for me to like want to put them up for sale.
Maybe prints.
Yeah,
Prints of them.
I did make a few prints for a tribe.
Yeah.
That was the first time I really practiced making prints. But yeah, I need to do that more.
Sweet. And what was your Instagram handle, or where can people find you for those commissions?
So that's all. I do it all on Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I'm like totally really bad at social media. So everything's on Instagram. At Ballpoint Bruja is my Instagram handle.
Cool. Well, we're almost out of time. I just want to thank you again for coming by.
Yeah, thank you.
To Boa Heights, come and a few questions with us. Do you have any last words that you want to share with the audience when it comes to your art, life?
I just want to say thank you, and I'm so humbled to share my art with people, and I'm humbled that people actually like my art. Like, that's such a compliment. I've been doing this since I was little, so it's such a great feeling to get good feedback from people in the community. So, and I want to thank you guys for holding space for artists as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, we try. We give everybody a chance, because we've been doing this for like 3 years now, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, think that's important. There's not many places now that allow young artists to experiment their craft, and I feel like it's really important to do
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you again for stopping by. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode 164. And yeah, we'll be back 2 weeks from now with 165. This has been the Eskwilax Hour 164. I'm Efrain and Ballpoint Bruja. And we'll see you next time.
Déjame clarificarte algo. Soy flor, no delicada, flor cabrona. Admira mi belleza iluminando en mis pétalos, pero siente mi fuerza y coraje de independencia en mis espinas. En el jardín me quedo tranquila y callada. Declárame guerra y en vez de oler mi dulce fragancia, huele el calor de mi sangre hirviendo llena de perseverancia. Arráncame la vida, quítame de mi tierra, donde una vez pisé, se quedan mis semillas enteras. ¿Tú crees que me puedes hacer desaparecer, separando de mis raíces, negándome agua para beber? Abre tus ojos, investiga por el mar, mi raza existe como el aire está en todo el lugar.